What's good, R&B squad? This is Heart of Ruth. I trust that this message meets you guys in good spirits. If you're new to this family, we don't believe that you're here by accident. Welcome. We're happy to have you, and Jesus is, of course, always happier. So the dog was going crazy barking just a moment ago, and I'm trying not to set him off again, so my voice may sound a little bit lower than it usually does. If it's a bit too low for you guys, please turn on the closed captioning. Someone really needs this word. So I'm going to get right into the word while he is being quiet. And it is actually 3 separate messages that came from 3 different scenes in the same dream. Okay. So this was all one dream, but there were 3 different scenes in it. And I'm going to get right into those scenes. In the first scene, there was a young woman. She could have been in her early 20s, or at least she looked like she was in her early 20s. She was seeking advice from this older woman, and she was explaining to the older woman that she had been seeing 3 different men, and that she now thought that she was pregnant, and she did not know which of those 3 men was the child's father. Okay? And the older woman was telling her was asking her who did she think was most likely that child's father. And she mentioned the name of one of the men that she was seeing, one out of the 3. And I'm not going to say what his name was, but it started with the letter P, okay? And the woman said, well, he seems like he's the most understanding one out of the 3. Why don't you tell him? And I could tell that that young woman was just sitting there so worried as to how she would even bring the topic up of being pregnant to these men. I especially had the feeling that she felt that the 2 men, other than the 3rd one that the older woman had advised her to talk to first, that they really didn't care about her. That if she were to tell them that it's a possibility that they could be father to this child, that they really would leave her on her own. That's the sense I was getting. And I could tell that she wasn't even so sure if the 3rd man would be willing to accept the child either. And that was the end of that scene. So the scene switches, and when it switches, it is this woman who's leaving this place. She had been living with this man that she'd been in a relationship with, and she was packing her stuff to leave. She had already sent some of her stuff ahead of her into her new place, and she was packing the rest of her stuff. And as she packed, I could sense this overwhelming sense of relief that was flooding over her, that she was finally getting out of that situation. I had the sense that she had been in it for a long time, and she'd been wanting to be away from this man for a long time. And she was finally able to get away, and she was so relieved. And then the scene switches, and there is this man in the 3rd scene, and he is serenading this woman, and the woman is blushing, and he's telling her about all the things, the wonderful qualities that he thinks that she has, and all of the things that makes him love her. Okay? And that was the end of that scene. So now let me get into the interpretation of each one, and you will know which one is for you as you listen to this. For the first one, there is someone, or it could be more than one of you, and it could be either a male or a female. You're seeing multiple people. And not only are you seeing multiple people, but you're either thinking about becoming sexually active with these multiple people, or you're already sexually active with more than one person. Okay? And I mean, let's not act like slip ups don't happen on this Christian walk. Some people do fall into fornication even on this Christian walk. You may not have intended to, but you may have fallen into fornication. Okay? Y'all, please ignore the dog. He's going crazy again. Hang on to the sound of my voice. The Lord sent me to tell you today that you need to be careful of your activity. First of all, you need to stop seeing all of these different people. You need to understand that bringing a child into the world with someone whom God did not ordain to be in your life in the long term affects your entire bloodline. It affects your entire bloodline in a way, in so many different ways. Okay, so you need to be careful. Be careful not to engage in any sexual activity outside of marriage. Be careful not to date too many people at the same time. And I know this is a bit of a rebuke, but it is being done in love, okay? The other thing is that some of these people that you're seeing, they don't even care about you. If you were to end up in a situation, if you're a woman listening to this and you're in this situation, if you were to end up pregnant, half these men that you're seeing would not care. Okay? You would be all alone. It would be just you and God. And if you're a man and you are having sex, or you're having like sexual relations with more than one woman, these women are not the kind of women that you want to mother a child. They're not. Not according to what God showed me. So you want to be real careful. And if you're already in a situation where you're a man and a woman one of the women that you've been seeing has told you that she's pregnant with your child, or you're a woman and you're actually pregnant right now and wondering what next to do, you need to seek God for guidance on this. Okay? And I will be praying for you, whoever you are. Now to go to the other scene. In the other scene, the woman who was packing and leaving. It's some of you that were in a bad relationship. It's some of you that were in a bad situation. It's some of you that were in a bad place. It's some of you that were stuck at a job that is no longer serving you. But whatever your situation looks like, you're about to leave. You're finally about to leave that situation behind. And you've been struggling with it. You've been wrestling with it for a while. You're about to leave. There is this running theme of finality that God has been putting emphasis on in my spirit for the past few days. He has been letting me know, and even last night as I was in Bible study, the words, "it is finished," came up. Okay, and it reminds me of a word that I put out a year ago with that title, "It is finished." And God is saying that for so many of you, the hour of completion has come. That thing that you were struggling with, that thorn in your flesh, it's not going to be there anymore. It's over. For some of you, like I said, it's a bad relationship. For some of you, it's a bad marriage. For some of you, it's a bad place. For some of you, it's a place where you just felt stuck. You're about to leave that place once and for all. It's finally over. And then for the third dream, this is for somebody who already knows who their kingdom, the third scene in the dream, sorry. This is for somebody who already knows who their kingdom spouse is. So you know who your kingdom spouse is, and things do not look good right now. It's either y'all are not in communication at all, or when you do communicate, all you do is fight. All you do is argue, okay? And you're thinking this is not getting any better. It's just getting worse. God sent me to tell you that your marriage to this person has already been settled in the heavenly realms. The matter has already been settled in the heavenly realm. So you have nothing to worry about. What you're seeing here, this is just the devil's playbook. This is just the enemy pulling out all the stops before you guys get to your final destination, which is marriage. So it looks bad right now. It looks like things are going from bad to worse. You're either not speaking to each other at all, or when you do talk, it ends up in a fight. I'm talking an all-out fight. You're turning your back on them. They're turning their back on you, and all kinds of craziness. And it looks like it's just irreparable right now, like it can't be fixed. For those of you that are not speaking with your God-ordained spouse, you may have had a real bad argument the last time that the two of you spoke. So now you're thinking there is no coming back from this. God is saying it's already been settled. It's already been preordained. It's already been predestined. You're marrying this person. And this is just reassurance. So I hope that this message blessed someone. I hope you found your confirmation somewhere in there. I love you guys. I will be back with another word as soon as the Lord releases me. Take care.